Get ready for a revelation that could transform your life. Today, we dive into the world of those who grew up in narcissistic, toxic, and dysfunctional families, helping them finally break free from that family dynamic and become the true self they were never allowed to be. We've identified 13 specific signs that your childhood may have been deeply damaging. Stay with me until the end to discover how you can take back control. So, what are these specific signs of a deeply damaging childhood? 1. You smile through the hell. No matter how terrible things get or how badly you're treated, you keep smiling. You maintain a stiff upper lip and avoid making anyone uncomfortable by showing your true self or how you really feel. 2. Deep feelings of isolation and loneliness. You feel disconnected due to what you were taught, the beliefs you internalized, and the way you were conditioned growing up. I've experienced this myself. This sense of isolation and loneliness often stems from one lacking the support, affection, or help a functional family would provide. 3. Absence of healthy, lasting relationships. If your relationships don't last, if you struggle to make friends, or if romantic partnerships repeatedly fail, this may trace back to childhood wounds. Many people tell me, I don't know how to make friends. I can't maintain relationships. I've had multiple failed marriages. It's never going to work out. The good news? It's possible to uncover the patterns from your childhood, heal the trauma, and build healthier connections. 4. Startling at the smallest noise. This is a classic PTSD symptom. If you grew up with abuse, intimidation, or fear, your nervous system becomes hypervigilant. Many children are terrorized at home through yelling, punishment, or constant fear, and this leaves a lasting mark. 5. Changing your behavior when someone enters the room. Your inner dialogue shifts, your mental state adjusts. You adapt instantly when someone else appears. This hypervigilance is often a remnant of growing up in a threatening or critical environment. 6. Feeling guilt and shame in completely normal situations. If even mild feedback or constructive criticism, like a boss saying, "I wish your performance had been better," overwhelms you with shame or guilt, that's a sign of deep conditioning from childhood. 7. Oversharing or sharing nothing at all. Children from damaging families often live in extremes. Oversharing with unsafe people, withholding from those who actually care. This pendulum swing comes from confusion about trust and emotional safety. 8. Having a very small social circle or no friends. If you consistently feel unworthy of friendship or can't maintain close connections, childhood trauma and self-beliefs are often at play. This isn't about introversion. It's about internalized unworthiness or distrust of others. 9. Struggles with authority. You might constantly rebel against authority, or submit and comply without thinking for yourself. Both are unhealthy relationships with authority, often rooted in inconsistent or abusive parental dynamics. 10. Wishing you had someone else's parent-child relationship. Seeing loving families in public and thinking, "I wish I could have had that," is a sign of grief for the nurturing you didn't receive. Fantasizing about different parents often indicates that your childhood left emotional scars. 11. Becoming childlike around your parents. Visiting family might trigger instant regression. You fall back into your childhood role at the dinner table, even as an adult. You might feel small, powerless, or accept behavior that's no longer appropriate because your emotional self is pulled back into the past. 12. Struggling to know who you really are. If you don't know what you think, how you feel, or what you want, it's often because your sense of self was suppressed growing up. Dysfunctional, toxic, or narcissistic environments can crush identity development and leave you feeling like a stranger to yourself. 13. Difficulty creating the true self. When many of these signs are present, it's a signal that your childhood left scars that require healing. Without intervention, people-pleasing, self-abandonment, and chronic confusion often persist into adulthood.